So this story that I'm about to cover is a big realization for me. I'm now aware of why liberals are using misinformation, more importantly, how they're using the term misinformation and disinformation. Today, we're going to be talking about the whole controversy surrounding WD-40 and aerosols in Canada. Are aerosols, specifically WD-40, being banned in Canada? Well, this is where it's really controversial because it's like no, but also yes. And I'm going to explain exactly why this whole topic is going to be labeled as misinformation. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I want to encourage you to give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps grow the channel, as well as if you'd like to support the channel and have a matching hat the way I do, you can find the link for that down in the description below under the Freedom Collection. We've got hats, shirts, and more importantly, winter is coming. So we have hoodies. So the link for that merch shop is down in the description below. Okay, so there's a lot of controversy around aerosols, specifically WD-40 here in Canada. Is WD-40 being banned? No, but kind of. They're being forced to change the way that they, package it and the way that the aerosols are put into it. So the contents of it. So as it stands, it's really, really weird wording. We're going to take a look at the person that brought it to everyone's attention. Just so we know, it's kind of being banned. For real, any normal person would say it's being banned, but the technicality and the wording around it is why it's going to be labeled as misinformation. So let's take a look at AVE on YouTube. He kind of made this parabolic because of his video and his breakdown. WD-40 actually released an official statement, and we're going to take a look at that in a few moments.
According to the Canadian Legislative Gazette, as of January 1st, this is going to get way more expensiver. Brake Clean is only allowed to have 10% volatile organic compounds. And at this stage, it's about 98% volatile organic. Well, it's 90% according to the SDS. It's 90% acetone and 2% 11 herbs and spices and 8% that dirty carbon dioxide. So what will happen is the small manufacturers of aerosols will go by the wayside. That is, they'll go tits up because of the onerous amount of paperwork that you will have to submit to the Minister of Environment and Climate Change. You're not going to be able to sell this unless you beseech the government for a letter of marque in order to allow you to sail the seas.
And so that's the technical side of things. So are these products being banned at face value? The Liberal government, Trudeau, Stephen Guilbeault, are saying, no, they're not being banned. We're forcing you to change things. If you don't change and adhere to our new regulations, then you are banned. So it's giving a bit of a life vest to all of these companies in a very short amount of time. They have until January 1st, 2024. So a few months to actually make these changes. But everyone is calling it being banned. Are they being banned? Do you think that it's being banned? Or is this this weird liberal way of saying, well, you're not being banned, but you're kind of being banned? Here on Reddit, this went insanely, because this video went insanely viral. People are asking, is it being banned? And then you have the top comment here saying, before anyone screams BS, yup, it's true. Come January 1st, only 10% volatile organic compounds will be allowed for retail sale in Canada. WD-40 has 25. So they have a little bit of time to actually make the change, which is what the liberals are guising this as. You're not being banned. You are forced to adhere to our new policies in order to adhere to our climate change and our carbon tax and all of those, tax scams or tax implications and things like that. In order to comply and be in good standing with the Minister of Magic, or the Ministry of Magic, or whatever the hell they're called now, you have WD-40 that releases an official statement. This is just September 7th, so just yesterday, saying the following statement may be attributed to a spokesperson from WD-40 company. It has recently come to our attention that false information is circulating online that WD-40 brand products are being banned in Canada. This is not a true statement. Although there are currently regulatory changes taking place in Canada, we have been aware of these regulatory changes and have been preparing for them for some time. This has been in the works for months and months, if not even years. And we have some articles to actually back up that the government has been attacking WD-40 since as far back as what I could find is 2014. So almost 10 years ago. All WD-40 company products, including WD-40 multi-use products, WD-40 specialists, and 3-in-1 brands will be compliant with the new regulations as of January 1st, 2024. So they are stating that they will be compliant and therefore will not be banned. If they are not compliant, if WD-40 stays on track to have their certain chemical balance and air pressure, whatever the hell the science is behind it, as it stands, then they would not allow to be sold retail here in Canada. So is that being banned or is that not being banned? That's what's so controversial about it. You are not crazy to say that it is being banned. That seems to be the common sense thing because it's a forced regulation. But the liberal way, they say, no, you're not being banned. You have to change to adhere to, a carbon tax and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, we all know what it is. We all know what it is, right? Our products will remain on Canadian store shelves and continue to solve problems in workshops, factories, and homes. So this press statement is basically bowing down to the communist Canadian government regime saying, no, sir, we are not being banned. We would never be banned. Canada would never ban us. Of course, we will always comply. But you know what I'm saying? So it's getting very, very weird here in Canada with all of these regulations and companies and people just submitting to it saying, whoa, instead of saying, hey, man, nah. We're not doing that because that's crazy because that's going to, not make our product as good. Instead of having less squeaky items, you're probably going to have more. I don't really know the science behind it, but if you're interested in knowing the science, you can find it on the Canadian government website, volatile organic compound concentration. I would be lying if I said I understood all the calculations and things that are involved with this. But what's important here to know is what products are being regulated. The term certain products is used to categorize the following products used in households and by institutional, industrial, and commercial consumers. Personal care products, automotive and household maintenance products, adhesives, adhesive removers, sealants and caulks, and other miscellaneous products. Canada is trying to get ahead of the curve. We all know that pretty much everyone in the world is moving towards, renewable energy, less fossil fuels, less footprint, more digital, more clean stuff. And there's a whole bunch of controversies with that on its own, right? Like where's lithium being mined, all of that stuff. And we're not going to get into that right now. We know that the world is just shifting more in that direction. Canada's trying to run ahead of everybody and say, come on, guys, catch up. And the head of that is Justin Trudeau and Stephen Guilbeault and the Liberal government of Canada. So I kind of want to take this time right now to ask you, how do you feel about this? How do you feel that Canada is literally trying to pave the way for the entire world and set this like green energy example when we're sitting on one of the largest oil reserves in the world? We have so much natural resources. And is that enough for the world to be like, well, if they're not using it, maybe we will. Let's take a quick look at Canada and how, send a few jets and boats over because they're not going to do anything. Is that a possibility? I don't know. I've been under the impression since I was like a child that at some point we're going to get invaded for our fresh water, our Great Lakes, because we're sitting on the largest freshwater amount in the world. So I don't know. There's a lot of reasons to invade Canada right now. Is it going to happen? I don't know. We'll see. But there's also a Canadian Gazette article that shows volatile organic compound concentration limits for certain products and regulations. I would be a fool to try and even tell you for a second that I understand any of this, right? Boiling point is greater than 216 degrees Celsius. But if you are into this, if you want to understand the science, you can definitely go and find this and read this yourself. Or you can watch all of AVE's video where he breaks it down because he's a little bit more technical. So Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy out here. And this is an article that I found from 2014 that Health Canada issues a recall for WT products with Smart Straw. As you can see, January 16th, 2014. The reason for this recall didn't have to do with any climate or carbon tax, things like that, because that wasn't really a center topic back in 2014. This actually had to do with child-friendly packaging. And so WD-40 and aerosol products have been kind of under the radar by the Canadian government for a very long time. As you can see, the products being recalled are all of the same products, that had the straws way back in the day and stuff like that. And then they had to redo it. So it's very unfortunate. And the person who is at the center of all these attacks is Steven Guilbeault. And if you look at Steven Guilbeault news, you'll actually be surprised at what he's been up to. So he's actually labeled as Canada's most divisive person. He's a very, very extreme radical person with an extreme radical past. And despite that radical approach that he takes, he's under a lot of controversy himself for, I don't know, criticizing Canada from Beijing, but silent on China, jetting around the world in a fossil fuel jet, emitting a lot of carbon emissions. Environment Minister makes rare China trip for talks on climate and biodiversity. It seems like it's rules for they and not for yay. It's very, very sadistic and twisted, and that's what's pissing off a lot of Canadians. And of course, you have the radical past of Steven Guilbeault, where he did actually climb the CN Tower on 4 occasions. Guilbeault made headlines for Greenpeace, such as when he scaled Toronto's CN Tower in 2001, accompanied by British activist Chris Holden. And these are photos of, this is them in, convict attire. They wore these orange jumpsuits to make a point. And now he's the head of climate activists at the federal level, implementing all of these carbon taxes and tax scams here in Canada. So now you know everything that there is needed to know up until today around WD-40. As it stands, again, WD-40 is saying that, no, we're not being banned. We will make the necessary changes and we will stay in stores. A lot of people are calling it they're being banned. Any person with common sense would see this as a ban, but the technical terminology that the Liberals are using is it's not a ban, and it will be labeled as misinformation if you go around saying that. Just a heads up, just a little tidbit. Yeah, we all know what it is. We've been through this. This isn't our first rodeo here in Canada. Unfortunately, it won't be our last. Things are getting a lot worse. And hey, America, please save us. Or anybody else in the world. Maybe Switzerland. Switzerland's a great country. Hey, Switzerland, can you come and save us? Thanks for watching. That's where we're going to end the video. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully I earned your post notification, your subscription by now. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do so by checking out the merch shop linked right up there. Or if you want to do something for free, which is also absolutely acceptable and highly encouraged, you can subscribe right there. If you want to continue watching videos like this, you can do so by clicking or tapping right there to watch the next upcoming video. And if you want to watch a little bit of different content, but also Canadian stuff, you can do so by clicking right up there. That's my second channel, House of Canada, also known as the House of Commons Highlights. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.